Remember when you got your first credit card? It felt so empowering to be able to pull that shiny card out and flash it at the cash register. Such an easy way to make a purchase. Maybe too easy. Credit cards are marketed as a flexible financial tool, and in many ways they are. But deep in the fine print of the terms and conditions lurks devastating financial realities that can keep people trapped in debt. They can hide out for years before your situation triggers them, so you have little reason to think about them until they become a problem. I'm going to tell you about 4 fine print policies in your credit cards that can easily act as quicksand, pulling your finances down. Credit cards have an interest-free grace period for purchases. If you make a payment in full every month, you won't be charged interest on your new purchases. The credit card is essentially giving you a no-interest loan for those few days. However, if you carry a balance from one statement to the next, even if that balance is a single dollar, that grace period vanishes. That means you start paying your daily interest rate on the purchases right away. You might also see interest tagged as residual interest or trailing interest on your next payment. That's the interest that accrues on a credit card balance after the billing cycle closes, but before the payment is received. You might think you paid in full only to find interest expense on your next statement. The point is that when you carry a balance, credit card interest never sleeps. It is always behind the scenes like a ticking clock. Credit cards are considered open-ended lines of credit. That just means that you can borrow and repay as much as you want, as long as you stay under the credit limit. There is no end date to the credit. That line can stay open for years, decades even. Because an open line of credit can go on for so long, they have a variable interest rate. In short, the credit card company can change your interest rate anytime it wants to. Usually, changes in the interest rate are tied to an index, like the US prime rate. That means that if the Federal Reserve raises interest rates, your credit card interest rate will follow suit. That can increase your monthly interest costs without any action from you. It can be worse though. Buried in the fine print of some credit cards is the stipulation for a penalty APR. If you are late on a payment, the issuer could impose the penalty APR. Once your rate goes up, it could take months of on-time payments to earn back your original rate. And there could be other reasons the credit card is resistant to lower the rate even after that point. Penalty rates can easily exceed 30%. This massive rate increase can apply to both your existing balances and new purchases. Your financial hole could get deeper even if you aren't increasing your debt. I do need to say that you can often opt out of rate hikes like penalty APRs and late payments. Most non-penalty rate increases will be disclosed 45 days before they take effect. But opting out could just mean the issuer chooses to close your account. So you don't have much power in the situation. Hey, don't forget to like and subscribe this video. It helps us out and we appreciate it. Your credit card's minimum payment is comprised of 2 pieces: the interest and fees accrued during the period and the principal paydown percent. That principal paydown is required so that people are not just paying interest forever without making progress paying down the principal. But the principal paydown amount is usually just 2% of the balance. It can be as low as 1%, and I've never seen it any higher than 3%. Think about that for a minute. If your balance is $1,000, the minimum payment is only requiring you to pay down your principal by $20. That means next month your balance has only dropped to $980. And then the principal paydown will only be $19.60. This is why paying off credit card debt can take well over a decade. You simply aren't making much progress if all you're doing is paying the minimum due payment. If you want to check how long it would take you to pay off your credit card debt, go to our debt payoff calculator at the Yukon project. You can put all of your debts in and it will tell you how long it will take to get out of debt using different strategies, like paying only the minimum, using the snowball method, or consolidating your debt. It's kind of like being able to see the future. When you carry a balance on your credit cards, things can get a little bit more complicated. Some credit cards will have lower interest rates for people with good to excellent credit scores. When you carry a balance on your credit cards, your credit utilization ratio goes up. Revolving credit utilization is one of the most direct influences on your credit score. Every 10 percentage points of utilization results in a drop in your credit score of between 5 and 15 points. It's possible that as your credit card balances rise, your credit score drops, and you will be pushed into higher interest rates. Confusingly, you can have balances on your credit card that have different interest rates. For instance, you can have a higher interest rate on purchases and a lower interest rate on balance transfer amounts. This can cause a bit of confusion about how much interest you are really paying. According to a federal law called the Card Act, any amount you pay over the minimum due payment must be applied to the higher interest balance. Now that's good, but it just means that you need to be aware that you might not be making progress on those lower APR balances. If you use balance transfer or cash advance, you incur fees and an immediate loss of the interest rate grace period. So borrowing money through your credit card might be the best financial decision, but you need to be aware that it will impact other usage on the card. These 4 policies can be why it is so hard to get out of credit card debt. The interest is unrelenting and the term is open-ended. The balances can linger for what feels like forever. And if it means a hit to your credit score, other debt like auto loans and personal loans could be more expensive. If you find yourself stuck by one or more of these policies, there is something you should consider: credit card consolidation. This is where you take out a personal loan and use the proceeds to pay off your credit cards. Consolidating the debt can solve a lot of these quicksand problems. If you get a loan with an APR that is at least 2 or 3 percentage points lower than the interest rate on your credit cards, you are immediately paying significantly less of your payment towards interest. Also, a debt consolidation loan is a fixed term product, not open-ended. You have a fixed end date to the loan. Unlike credit card balances, the debt can't linger for a decade or more. Debt consolidation also forces you to pay down the principal faster than you would with the credit card's minimum due payment. Finally, credit card consolidation drops your credit card utilization, which will put upward pressure on your credit score. If you want to check what rate you could qualify for, go to the Yukon project. On our marketplace page, you can select credit card consolidation for the purpose of the loan, the amount you need, and your credit score range. When you apply to one of the featured lenders, we will automatically check your rate with up to 40 other lenders behind the scenes. Our partners use a soft credit check, so applying won't hurt your credit score. We will show you all of your approved offers so you can feel confident that you're getting the best offers you can qualify for. Credit cards are flexible, and they can be a great tool for managing your day-to-day financial life. However, deep in the terms and conditions, there can be trouble. And that trouble can pop up if you carry a balance. Hopefully, understanding some of these policies can help you avoid them. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe.